talk through some stuff?
Yeah, I'll just sort of talk about some of these sketches. There's a few kind of principles buried in these sketches, and I'll try and draw those out a little bit. So, well, hopefully this gives the impression that we're really trying not to add too much clutter. If anything, we want to remove buttons and get rid of visual noise. And part of our strategy for that, or like I think what we think is really important in getting the web actions into the browser is to kind of put those controls in places where the user is already doing that thing. So, for example, they click the little star to add a bookmark. It says bookmark added, and then there's this like really kind of neat little link, tick box rather, to sync with Delicious. Now, there's quite a lot going on behind the scenes in order to generate that sort of simple little interface. It's only showing that link to people that, like the user agent, thinks are actually Delicious users. So that could be based on their browsing history, a bookmark, maybe that they might have bookmarked Delicious, maybe they've got a bookmark alert, and I think the browser even knows about their passwords, so sites they've got passwords for. So I think there's a lot of intelligence in the user agent that we can bring to bear when we're trying to decide where to sprinkle these little bits of functionality in the browser. So, the principles there, kind of sprinkle the new functionality in the browser. Don't clump it all in a special web intense box. Hijack existing browser functionality. We've talked a bit about the idea that in most browsers there's a share this link control that no one really ever uses. It's a bit of a shame. So you go into File and email this link, and it actually creates a little email for you to send. We could hijack that and use it as a generic sharing thing. I haven't actually got a screenshot of that. So moving on from that little bookmark thing, showing things in a relevant situation. I thought it might be nice to use that little space, that little the drop down that you get when you bookmark something, as a way of hiding a big clump of links. It's a bit inelegant, really, because some of them are relevant to bookmarking, some of them are just hidden in that drop down, and it's a bit of a lazy approach to interface design. And this is just another kind of effort to hide a load of controls. So this is more of a touch-based gesture, as you can obviously tell by the brilliantly drawn hand there. You push the page aside, and a bunch of controls appear that let you perform certain actions. Again, I don't think that this is the way to go. The idea of having a big chunk of interface that's just, we don't really know what to do with it, so we've just hidden it. I don't think that's very smart design. So, but what it does do, what it does do is it leaves the page completely intact. So for rightly or wrongly, the layout and the rendering of the page that the publisher, as the publisher intended it, is for some reason sacred. We can't mess around and insert things and push and pull stuff around inside the content, or at least that's kind of sort of some of the current thinking. But I don't think that has to be the case. So if you go to the next one. Before I talk about this, browsers like Safari have like a reading view where all of the extraneous non-content stuff is pulled out and you get just purely the content. Well, we've got a really similar idea, but it's kind of takes it the other way. So you've got, this is your normal web page as the publisher intended it. There's just content there. It happens to be 2 images, whatever. If you go into what I've called a verb view, it's like the whole page flips over, and now you get the same content and all the same, whatever clutter the publisher has put on their page, but now you get a bunch of extra controls around those things. So here we've kind of given ourselves a license to really, really interfere with other people's content. So it's a little bit of a mode, so I'm not sure if we're 100% happy with it, but I've called it a view, and now I'm more happy with it. But yeah, so if you imagine a third panel here, this is where the kind of the absolutely stripped down content only view, like Safari gives you. This is the normal view, and then that's the really heavy, like you'll want to do stuff with this content sort of view. And that's everything from us, I think. Yeah. All right. Thank you.